Emirates Team New Zealand have decided to freight their AC75 Defender by ship, and it has been loaded onto the Baltic Spring, and it is on its way to Spain via the Panama Canal and the Atlantic Ocean and the Med Sea. All going well, it should take a month or so.
We're into the last 6 months prior to the America's Cup. We've launched our yacht in New Zealand, Taihoro. Barcelona's our next stop. When we get there, we're hitting the ground running, hopefully. It's a massive logistical program to get everything in place. The 40s are out on the water. The guys have been working for him to keep that going, and you see the team and how it focuses on this. We've still got design works going on upstairs. The boat yard's still busy with projects. You know, it's really intense, but it's what we're all here for. We love it.
Nice and early, got here in Tauranga. We got Taihoro and Chase One down here ready to go on the ship today. We got Taihoro going in sideways and then spinning around and going onto the deck of the Kiwi Fruit ship.
Everyone's six is here. I reckon we just need to be a little... I think we're better that way. Taihoro and Chase One is now on board, just down to these final lashings. So yeah, it might be long now and she'll be off to Europe.
Try to make that at least messy.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, May 31st, 2024. One of the remarkable factors that courses through the entire Emirates Team New Zealand squad, from the very top to the bottom, is honesty, and it's a remarkable, refreshing factor in the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. Today, out training on the Back Paddock in Auckland, the youth team, who were one boat training on their AC40, overcooked it on the exit of a gybe, lost the rudder, and then had what can only be described as an epic pitch pole and resultant capsize. We tend to think that this will happen again as the women and youth teams get into competition.
Day sailing on the Hauriki Gulf with the youth and women's team, here chatting with Ray. What was the goal for the session? How'd it go there?
Yeah, look, it was pretty awesome conditions. Winter here in New Zealand gets pretty fresh at times. We sailed out of the harbour in a sort of 15 knots, got out to what we call the Back Paddock, which is an amazing venue for sailing, nice flat water. Set up a race course. It was really good to get the youth and women up to a level where they're ripping around a racetrack now. And the goal was, we decided not to have a two-boat sailing day just because it was a bit of a rinse and repeat of the conditions we have been seeing. So we just gave the full day to the youth and women. But yeah, they found the edge today. So we had a capsize, and it's inevitable that was going to happen at some point. But as they're pushing the limits of the boat, up the wind range a little bit, it was only 16 knots at the time.
Yep.
And you know, they'll go back through it, but there's probably a little bit of a too fast a turn rate in the gybe, and probably came out a little bit hot. And next thing, the rudder came out of the water, and it all happened pretty quickly from there. But everyone's okay. The crew were fine. Ricky, Seb, Oscar and Leo on board, and for the crew it's not a problem at all. It blew out the jib, and we didn't have another J3. There's no point continuing. The breeze was only getting windier. So we'll come back and give the boat a good check over. It seemed fine, so yeah, make sure she's okay.
Yep, it was an impressive capsize, but equally impressive to see how quickly the team got the boat back upright and with relatively minimal damage, other than the jib that we could see from off the boat.
Yeah, it is quite an amazing feature with these boats when they do capsize, and they do capsize. that you just put the boards back down and just check the boat back head to wind with the chase boat, just to get the bow back in line with the wind, and then the wind flow under the sail lifts the boat back up. So they're actually very easy to right, and the crew can just stay in their compartments. Just got to get one crew forward to clip a tow line onto the bow, and that's get the boards down, and she comes up right.
Yeah, brilliant. And yeah, like you said, everyone was safe and no injuries or anything like that?
No, not at all. Like absolutely, for any other boat that capsizes at 35 knots, no problem at all. And it's the first capsize they've done, and they're saying, look, we're absolutely fine. Like you're sitting in your booth and it's just, you know, you're forward and back and no problem for any sort of physical injury, and it's more the boat you're worried about at that point, but the boat's fine as well.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, yeah, I guess as these guys learn, that they're going to have some spills. But it's really cool to see the progression that we've seen so far from them.
No, exactly. They are progressing really well, and yeah, you do have to respect the boat. And as you sail in different conditions on puffy days, just adapting to those conditions, it's exciting.
The 2024 New York to Vendée Transatlantic race for Imoca 60-foot yachts who are qualifying for entry into November's Vendée Globe Round the World race started May 29th offshore from the Big Apple. First report in from the boats was German, Boris Herrmann, on Malaysia, and then Brits, Pip Hare, on Medallia, and Sam Davies, Sailing Initiatives Co. The fleet are headed for the Gulf Stream current, then home to their bases in the Vendée in France.
Hi everyone, we got off the start quite well, I think. You see here Thomas Rouillon, is Johan Richaud, Paprec, Justine Teamwork, Charal, and everyone else. Nice picture. I just used the Adrena machine to time the start, and I was at minus 15 seconds over the line, and I might made my line a bit behind the actual line on Adrena, so we should be all good. It's now a little bit of suspense because we want the go ahead from the race direction to know that we are all clean start. For me it was minus 14 plus 20 meters, so that should be plenty of margin. Thomas was well ahead, advanced over the line, like I would say 3 boat lengths, and So I feel quite good here. Yeah, let's see if we can gain a little bit on him. We seem to have exactly the same speed. So I'm trying to gain a little bit of lateral to find my own lane to not be influenced by his winds. And that's it, beautiful day, 8 knots. That means we can use the foil, we have the full keel, we have code 0. The boat is sailing well, it's sailing like 8.5 knots boat speed. Heeling a little bit, some swell. It couldn't be any better. Perfect day for a start, no fog. That was one of my biggest fears. Yeah, and a beautiful battle unfolding over the North Atlantic. I hope you're all following. And good night in Europe, and talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.
Start done. It was close. It was fun as well. I've just got B&B and Vulnerable ahead of me here, and then there's some of the pack up there, and the rest are down there. We've got 6 knots of wind, so more than I was expecting. Boat feels good, feels like I've got nice pace next to everyone. It's the first time I've been with everyone for ages. It's the start of many days. It's good.
On est parti dans la pétole, ça glisse tout doucement et voilà, la flotte est tout compressée. On voit les bateaux un peu partout tout autour et je crois que c'est Violette qui a eu le super départ, qui s'en va et elle nous attend pas, donc bravo, et elle va super vite dans ces conditions. Et là c'est parti pour une nuit un peu calme, ça change un peu. Il faut être sur les réglages, je pense, il faut être dessus, et aussi il faut être beaucoup sur le météo parce qu'il va y avoir des choix à faire, mais c'est vraiment chouette. Je crois qu'on va passer une nuit au contact avec toute la flotte. Je pense qu'on va pas trop dormir parce que on va être tout proche, donc c'est chouette. On est parti, à bientôt au Sable d'Olonne.
The only AC75 out in Barcelona on May 24th, Alinghi Red Bull Racing cut a solitary but stunning form and figure against the beautiful downtown scenery, truly one of the greatest places in the world to host a regatta, as the hard-driving Swiss pushed on relentlessly to eke the technique and build up their marginal gains.
We're here with Nicolas Charbonnier, 470 Olympic bronze medalist back in Beijing 2008, trimmer on Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Nicolas, today, unfortunately, a short day on the water. What happened?
Yes, we sailed off the harbor around 1 o'clock. Sailed maybe for 1 hour 30, but unfortunately we hit something with the rudder when foiling, so we had to stop sailing, but it's part of the sailing game.
Do you know if there is any structural damage?
It's really hard for the moment to say. We'll get the boat out of the water and check, reassess the damages, because we just sent the diver and we decided to stop the boat for safety, but we'll see.
Then when talking about your role on the boat, you are sitting on the port side. Are you trimming all the time?
A little bit of trimming, little bit of flying the boat, so quite interesting. And yeah, it's some different aspect of the sailing. You don't always do the same thing, and it's really interesting.
Whenever the boat is sailing on starboard tack, are you still trimming the mainsail, or a person on the other side is doing it?
It depends on the moment, but trimming the mainsail, no, it really depends on the moment of the race, what we are doing, and yeah.
And when talking about the different controls you have of both sails, are you the only one adjusting them?
No, as we said, we can trim the sails from port and starboard side, and we can fly the boat from port and starboard side, so it's a mix between the two.
Then it seems like whenever you're sailing with this main two in light wind conditions, it's a little bit harder to stay foiling on the maneuvers and to be consistent. Does it feel the same way?
Yes, exactly. It's a design of the sail. Like we using a M1, which is made for really light breeze, and M2 is a more all-purpose sail. So, of course, when we are at the bottom of the range, it's a bit trickier to sail with M2, but it's just the shape of the sail that make it harder.
At which wind speed do you think is a crossover in between the two sails, more or less?
It's what we're trying to find out, and it's why we're sailing with M2 in light breeze. So it's all about getting the best performances out of the boat and using the best setup you could.
And in days like today, in which you have very light conditions, once you are up and flying, do you achieve higher speeds with any of the two?
No, the top speed wouldn't change much. Probably the M2 will be a little bit faster because it's a smaller size and less drag, but it's harder to take off, so it's just a balance between achieving fast performances and being able to foil early.
We go to Lake Garda and the Waszp Beleno, the 26th of May 2024, Yellow Fleet. Experienced an unforgettable day in Beleno, where the Waszp fleet put on a show with a breathtaking regatta. From precise turns to moments of pure speed, the skippers demonstrated talent and passion.
In Beleno, Lake Como, Italy, a conclusion under the banner of new racing formats for Act 2 of the Italian Cup Foil Class Waszp, organised over the weekend of 24 to the 26th of May, by Circolo Villa Beleno, and animated by over 50 helmsmen from 6 nations. After the 5-course race is held over the first 2 days, Sunday was the moment for the sprint slalom, a discipline proposed for the first time in Italy for the Waszp class. It is a downwind slalom with a crosswind start and 3 boys positioned in a line one downwind of the other, up to the last one that finishes on the leeward mark. It is a very short course, to be completed in a time range of 5 to 10 minutes, where everything is on the line, especially at the start and in the gybe, a bit like in the slalom sprint of the IQ Foil Olympic board. With the last day, the disciplines changed, but the leader of the overall classification did not. Emanuel Savoini, Yacht Club Imperia, maintained a good regularity of results in both disciplines, inflicting 8 points on Francesco Bertoni, Porto Maurizio Yacht Club, who came second. If the gap between the first two was consistent, the same cannot be said of the positions to follow. Federico Bergamasco, CN Mandraccio, finished in a tie with Bertoni, winning the under-21 category. Great leap forward in the overall standings after the 3 slaloms on the last day, by the young Italian Mose Bellomi, Circolo Villa Arco, 6th overall, and second in the under-19 category, just behind the German, Kasper Ilgestein, 5th overall. The last slaloms, however, made the difference in the women's category, with Germany's Fernholz overtaking France's Louise Metenier in the lead after the first 5 course races, and still first under 19 females. The Assessert Trophy was awarded to the Yacht Club Imperia as the best team performance, with the 2 Savoini brothers, Emmanuel and Enzio, in 1st and 4th place overall. Excellent organisation by the Circolo Villa Belleno, which also fielded a large team of young athletes.
From what looked to be quite an unpromising weather forecast, wind-wise, last Saturday in Barcelona actually turned out to be one of the most entertaining and enlightening training sessions that we've seen so far in the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and New York Yacht Club American Magic were the only 2 teams on the water, and with everyone fighting to sail in the same stretch of water, the inevitable happened, and we got a first sight of boats lining up loosely against each other, the rules precluding actual 2-boat racing. Note how Jimmy reacted to being told this.
We're here with Jimmy Spiffel, helm. Jimmy, second day of sailing in Barcelona. Can you break down the day for us?
Yeah, it was a great day today. We got a solid, probably 4 or 5 hours, I guess, out there. Bottom end of conditions, 9 to 12 knots. A little bit less seaway than yesterday.
Jimmy, you're finally helming on the new wing. What feedback do you have on that?
Yeah, the new wing felt great. I mean, it was great to have them both paired together for manoeuvres and just get some time on it. So, yeah, good result from the guys in the shed, just to be able to get out there and put some solid hours on it.
At some point, you had a shorter while matching tacks with the Americans. What's your takeaway of that?
I didn't even see the Americans. Were they out there, were they?
I don't know, you tell me. Does the boat feel much different now with the symmetric configuration?
Yeah, it feels a lot different. I mean, there was a big compromise with the manoeuvres when we had the old wing on. And so, yeah, much better now. Now we can really lock in and really work through our playbook.
Where do you place yourself compared to the other teams right now?
Well, I guess probably besides the French, we've really spent the least amount of time on a 75 here. So, yeah, we're just trying to learn the racetrack. But it's good to be based here and now just putting hours in out there. It's a tough track. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the water, which we've got to be really careful of. But a few of the teams told us that before we got here, and there's a lot of activity out there, a lot of boats and guys foiling and supping, so it's quite the activity.
Jimmy, on a LQ12, you try different playbooks. Would you say when you're not helming, you will be only trimming the jib, or are you looking also at main controls?
Yeah, pretty much set up the same, I think, as the majority of the other teams. With the 2 guys driving and doing a bit of jib trimming, and then, clearly the front guys are dedicated foil flight controllers, and then they do a bit of sail control. So yeah, there's a little bit of everything, except that from the past campaign, Keko and I don't touch the flight control.
And you practice also some starts. How did that go?
It went well. I mean, that's the biggest change for this cup, is that we have to use the Kiwi race software. So, you know, everyone has to use that one design software. So it's going to be interesting to see if they modify it as we get closer to the racing.
Thank you, Jimmy, for your time.